Friend, a question. Do you know why people always stop and watch a blacksmith at work? Because he's riveting. It's good to see a new face in this sad hole.
Oh, of course. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Osbert, local master of hammers and anvils. Do you need your blade sharpened?
Ha! Friend, I wish. But the only task I could use help with might be a bit too delicate for you to handle.
Unless you're a master goldsmith, then feel free to prove it, and I'll have work for you immediately. There's just not enough of them to go around. And now that we're on lockdown, there's not much demand for my services either. Listen, I said I don't have any jobs, as in things I pay you for doing. That doesn't mean I can't teach you a thing or two, if you're willing to learn, that is. Since you're free to wander about while I'm stuck in the keep, maybe we can make good use of that. You've probably bashed in the skull of a beast or two, right? The alchemists. They're likely snatching up the corpses, using the muck to cook their weird concoctions. But perhaps you'd rather craft yourself some armor from those hides, huh? We should start with something simple. Let's see. I'll give you some notes on how to make armor. You gather the materials and get to work. And when you're done, you can bring it over so I can see what you've made.
If you're here to see the healer, don't bother. He's a quack and a butcher who likes to watch people suffer. And I mean it! He's a know-it-all from Camelot, but the truth is, he doesn't know shit. All of those academic types think they're better than us village folk, just 'cause they read a book. We've been getting by just fine without any of their crap. I came to him with a toothache, asked him to make me something for the pain, and you know what he did? He said my tooth is rotten, and then sent me to Osbrit to get it pulled out. That, and I wouldn't trust him anywhere near my mouth. Don't get me wrong, Osbrit's a decent blacksmith, but he's no good with teeth. With one lad, it took him 3 tries before he got the right one. I'll stick to my grandma's potion for toothache. Or I would, if Heber would stop being such a dick and make it for me. Heber took the recipe from me. And even if I had the recipe, I'm no good at mixing that stuff. Said if I don't know how to make it, I shouldn't have it. And that he doesn't want some questionable homebrew medicine spreading through the keep. You will? Oh, you're a lifesaver. Tooth saver, yeah? No matter.
Oh, sorry. Do I know you? I'm terrible with faces. Either way, glad to make your acquaintance. I'm Jan Heber, a physician raised in Camelot and trained in the Royal Academy. Why would you, though? Don't you have better things to do? Aha, got it. So you're up for work not out of the goodness of your heart, but for your own selfish plans. Understood. It's a good reason. Well, I'd say it's better than most. But all right, if you're a mercenary, then I do have a job for someone who'd be willing to risk their life in exchange for material goods. Back at the Academy, I found an ancient scroll written by the Druids. Forbidden knowledge, especially now, after the mob forced them all into a wicker man and burned every last one of them to ash. I finally deciphered it a little while ago. It describes a ritual that needs to be performed at night within a stone circle. And guess what? There's one in the nearby forest. I guess you already know what I need you to do, hmm? And here I am, thinking that everyone's already heard about the Charred Conclave. Well, it wasn't the proudest moment in our history, that's for sure. You truly don't know. At some point, the villagers all around the island decided that the Druids were responsible for the Red Death, and all other ailments of our times. They rounded them all up in a massive wicker man north of the Forlorn Swords, and burned them all to ashes. Hundreds of years of knowledge gone within the blink of an eye. But, well, that's what's bound to happen when you stop paying for people's education and invest in keeping the elites fed instead. That is an excellent question, but I don't know. From what I've been able to decipher, it's a summoning spell to bring something or someone to our world. That being will share its great knowledge with the one brave enough to summon it. I need you to remember what it says and repeat it to me after you're back, word for word. Isn't it obvious? I'm the only medic they have here at the Horns. I'd like to see Fergus's face if he hears about me going out there. Lanzo knows very well what he must do. I'm sorry, but there's nothing else I can do for him. Either he removes the tooth, or it will keep hurting. He's not dying! He has a toothache, for crying out loud. A physician's duty is to treat an illness, not its symptoms. Of course, I could give him something to ease the pain, but there's no point if he doesn't get rid of the underlying cause. Yes, his grandma's miracle medicine. I honestly don't have time for village superstitions. I had to confiscate the recipe as well, lest he tries making it himself. As if I don't have enough problems already. No, I thought I made myself clear. If you want an excuse to drink yourself to oblivion on moonshine, just drink the moonshine. No need to add other potentially dangerous ingredients. Well, to be fair, the base recipe is pretty harmless. But what if someone decides that if they don't have carnation, it's perfectly fine to substitute it with devil's snare, since the color is more or less the same? Or sage with wolfsbane, because, you know, leaves are leaves. I'm sorry, but unfortunately I know these people well enough not to trust them with something like this. What? How do you... You know what? Fine. Do whatever you want. But if it causes you to shit yourself for 3 days straight, don't come running to me. Is some local witchcraft I've been trying to make sense of. I guess I'll find out when I try it. Experience is the best teacher. Don't worry, I'm not testing anything on the others. Graham the Mad, a great Camelotian physician, used to say that a real doctor would never give his patient something he hadn't tried on himself first. A wise approach, which I follow myself. What irony? The pursuit of knowledge is always dangerous. That's why it's reserved for only the bravest of the brave. It takes true guts to face the unknown, to realize just how little you know, and how insignificant you are to the world. Oh, that was unexpected. Here, take it. What will happen, I have no idea, but please tell me, if you live to find out. In Camelot, maybe, but this far south? Nobody cares. I've spent my entire life digging through scrolls and books in pursuit. I've been reading about their rites and the descriptions of their rituals. Look, I'm sure they were onto something. They knew much more than we do, but it feels like there's a veil wrapped tightly around that knot. It's like I need to find the right spell, the right ritual, something that will unwrap it for me.